Okay, this video is for Aunt Lori and Sue Rain from Ottawa, Ontario. I'm just going to make a video of a great place to retire and be more safe in your elderly years because of the air, the nature, and a lot of things that people who are older need when they're just finishing off where they want to stay the rest of their lives. So this area is near Duncan, British Columbia. That's Duncan, Duncan. It's just 30 to 45 minutes north of Victoria, and the houses are very cheap and everyone's really laid back and nice. So there's a waterfall here called Niagara Falls, only 25 minutes from Duncan. It's called Niagara Falls, just like the one in Ontario. So I'll show you Niagara Falls. Here I'm in my 1989 car. It's I have maps. I got no electronics. My cell phone hasn't been active since a year and a half ago, so I haven't had a phone number for a year and a half. I just use this phone to make videos, and then I go on Wi-Fi to send the videos. But I don't have a phone number for the sake that I don't want people bothering me too much. So this is my 1989 car. It's got flip up lights, and everybody here likes, it's British Columbia, they like off-road vehicles here, and I used to own the same vehicle as that exact same one. In 2009 I had that, same color too. Okay, so this is 25 minutes from Duncan, British Columbia. It's called Goldstream Provincial Park. So if you could drive here every morning and breathe in the air, it's like gonna recharge your life. And the people in Duncan are so positive and laid back. I haven't met anyone like that in all of Western Canada, except for very rural cities and towns, but they don't have much services. But Duncan has a lot of services, and it's cool all year round, even in the summer. It's like a fan on your face, and there's people hiking. So the benefits to living in Duncan is the Goldstream Provincial Park, the people, the cost of living is much cheaper compared to Victoria, and the waterfalls here. So only 2 minutes from the waterfalls you can get spring water you can drink. It's called Hidden Spring Falls. You can bring the water home, and the water has 4 times the amount of calcium compared to average drinking water. So it's very high quality water with minerals and things that you don't get in the tap water, and it's chlorine free, so that's good. So this in the rain season, which is only 4 months a year is rain season. Rain season happens around November until February, and that's it. So where we are in Duncan gets no rain, nothing. Also, the benefits of living near the Goldstream Provincial Park are the sightseeing places that the government supports and funds. Up here there's railroad trestles that are maintained, museums. There's, I said, the springs. They have waterfalls and hiking trails, and the lakes are swimmable in May. You can swim in the lakes in May, and that prevents chlorine damage to your eyes, called swimmer's eyes. If you go to the pool when you're old, you sometimes have a lot of damage to different parts of your body because of the chlorine. But swimming in a lake from May all the way till October, all year, well, 6 to 7 months a year, this is gonna save your skin, save your eyes, and it's just better for your body to absorb the water through your pores and into your skin, into your bloodstream. So when you, so here's a waterfall. It's very, very loud. I can hear it, and there's a lot of people here. So I'm gonna walk down this steep ravine here, and I'm wearing running shoes. So yeah, so that's the waterfall right here. It's about 47 meters. And there's a road that goes up to the top, and it goes to the very top, and I I climbed up there last week. I went there, and you can see the sides of the waterfalls that go underneath the waterfalls. There's 3 tourist attractions at the top, different things. And again, this is not very far from Duncan. There's hardly any rain per year compared to Vancouver. There's only 60%, no, I think somebody told me the stat, but there's hardly any rain out in Duncan compared to Vancouver. So yeah, if you want to live a longer life, your life will be increased, and you do not need a car out here. There's buses that take you right to Goldstream Provincial Park, and the walking, it's the safest place to be a pedestrian in Canada. On Vancouver Island has the lowest pedestrian casualties involving vehicles in anywhere in Canada, because here the people are so nice. That's the thing. If I go to Kamloops, and they're wild there, like that's the old Wild West with Clint Eastwood and that other guy, who is that guy from the movies, shooting 70s movies around there. Burt Reynolds is a cowboy, Clint Eastwood, and one more guy. I think it was, I'll remember his name, John Wayne. Yeah, John Wayne. So those 3 guys were out there shooting movies throughout Kamloops and Kelowna in the 70s, and it's wild there, just like what the movies like portray Kamloops. It's wild. That the people there are wild. That's the thing. Like when I go to Kamloops, you see these looks on people's faces, and it's really hard on your system, over and over and over. It's like getting bit by a mosquito. There's only so many bites you can take before you just want to leave or find another area to stay. But here in Victoria and Duncan, it's like the people are just like Deep River, Ottawa, Halifax, Quebec City. Like they're so nice, like so helpful, so positive, attractive, magnetic. And these types of people will rebuild your cells, when your cells are damaged, the positive energy goes through your system and it repairs cells. So I could send you a video of a Japanese man from the 1980s who did a study on positive energy, speaking negative words and speaking positive words. He did a study about talking to water, and then he froze the water after he spoke to it. And then he took a microscope and looked in the water, deep in the water, to see the molecules and to see how they froze. When you see frozen water and the molecules with a microscope that's very powerful, you can see how the water reacts to your negative words. So you will really be mind blown when you see this Japanese study from the 80s. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video. It's been about 8 minutes. So yeah, no, I'm breathing in the best air in the world, not in Canada, in the world right now. So if you ever want to find a way to live cheap, it's still cheap in BC in a lot of ways. Like Ottawa has higher expenses compared to here in some ways. Other ways it's cheaper in Ottawa. But if you do the overall yearly output of money and you figure out that your health is going to be heightened, and why would you be in pain? There's a lot of other things I could mention about health. It goes on and technical, and it turns into arguments. Better stop here. And I'm just going to cover a few points of why this area is better. You can get technical and you can get very negative on any subject you speak in the world. You just have to believe yourself why it's better for you, because everyone's different. Some people love the wild Kamloops and Kelowna because that's the way they were raised. But if you're from Deep River, Duncan, British Columbia is the best for you. Period. Duncan, Deep River. Very similar places. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to argue about, and a lot people could challenge me on, but I know for sure Duncan is just like Deep River. By the way, it's oceanside too. I forgot to mention, you can buy a sailboat. If you like sailing, it's there. And with Duncan, there's mountains all the way around, just like Kamloops, the same mountains, rolling hills, 450 meters above sea level, day hikes. I missed a lot, and I didn't say a lot, and there's a lot you could argue with me, But I believe Duncan is the place for anybody from Eastern Ontario if they want to. By the way, the healthcare professionals in BC are better than Ontario healthcare professionals. Quote unquote, that's the end of the story. They're way better. Here they do more holistic, preventative health. They do more different types of angles like Chinese medicine. They're not about the patch system. They promote a lot of different types of healing that the Ontario people don't have time for. So thank you.